with the Dadletics Podcast, Episode 7. We are your hosts, Tyler Smith and
Pat McSweeney.
Dr. Pat. Today's topic is fitness without missing life.
Near and dear to all Dadletics hearts.
Yes, and I think it's a good segue because, like, you and I haven't talked in a while because you were on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, vacation is life, and we all handle it and juggle that.
Mm-hmm.
But you took vacation pretty much in the prime of your training.
Yeah. Not purposefully, but yeah.
In Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive into vacation, play a little catch up.
Yeah.
How did you get your training done without sacrificing
Mm-hmm.
family time,
Yeah.
etc.?
Yeah, so we were in Hilton Head, South Carolina this past week with my family, the boys, and then my two brothers and their families and my parents.
One roof?
One roof,
Yeah.
16 people, 8 adults, 8 kids. Makes for a fun week. No, it was a blast. Like, we had a great time.
What's the age difference with the kids?
My oldest niece is 11, down to my youngest niece is 1. So, and everywhere in between. But they all kind of have a buddy. So, almost everybody has somebody within, like, my son Graham is 2 weeks apart from my nephew. So they're buddies. And then my older nephews are 6 and they are a month apart. And then my older nieces are a couple years apart, but they're old enough now that they're hanging out and having a lot of fun. So my oldest niece kind of is the best babysitter and runs the show, and then the other kids listen to her pretty well and usually fall in line, which is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had a really good time. Cool thing about Hilton Head is there's a lot of outdoor spaces, run on the beach, bike paths, stuff like that, to be able to get stuff in. The one issue that I ran into that I kind of chose not to figure out is swimming. So you could argue you could swim in the ocean. That's not really I'm not really into that at this point. Like, the juice just isn't worth the squeeze for me. So that was the one thing that I kind of just shelved for the week. Like, made sure to try to get in as much as I could beforehand. So swam, I think, 3 times the week before. Have since we got back Saturday, have swam 3 times since then. So just trying to get those touches, like, in the water.
Speaking of buddy system,
Yeah.
I think I held you a little accountable. So
You did?
if you have been listeners since episode 1, Pat continues to talk about how biking is
Yep.
probably the most important thing.
Yep.
And you weren't going to take a bike on this trip.
Yep.
Not sure if you were just going to get like a little pedaler or what your plan was, but I pretty much called Pat out and said,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
you have to bike. You're in, again, this is peak week.
Yep.
And of the 3 domains, like, this is the one you have to practice. Figure out how to take a bike.
Yep.
I'll talk to your wife if need be. We'll peer pressure her.
So last we talked, I was going to bring my bike. And I didn't. I ended up not bringing the bike. So
here goes the race.
So I'm in trouble. So when we go down, if you've been to Hilton Head, you know, like, bike rental is a common thing. Like, most condos come with bikes, or there's a million places to rent bikes and paddle boards and stuff like that down there. So we ahead of time had already rented, like, beach cruisers.
You hit 22 miles on those?
I did. I hit, my longest ride was around, like, pretty much around the whole island. It was a little over 16 miles. So for my race, it's a little over 12 for the sprint.
So is this like a Rocky type training session?
I mean,
Where you got the Russian, he's using all the gadgets,
Yeah.
and you're just using
I'm on a beach cruiser, just letting it rip. So, yeah, and honestly, like, the time on the bike is probably the biggest. Like, I've been hitting workouts, I've been doing all that, but it's being able to put together what I'm capable of on the run after biking and swimming.
Sure.
And a lot of that comes down to volume and on the bike, and having that just, like, storage of when I get off the bike, it doesn't feel like it took a lot out of me. And obviously, it's gonna be at a little bit different of an intensity. But the first day I biked with Graham we had a trailer on the back.
Rocky, we got to put Rocky
Yeah.
through this right now.
Going down the beach. We got there Saturday night. Bikes got delivered that day. Going down the beach, totally fine. I was like, I'm cooking along, no problem. Turns out I had a wind at my back. Turn around. I'm probably averaging, I don't know, on the beach, on a beach cruiser, 12 miles per hour, 13 miles per hour. I turn around. I'm standing pretty much the whole, like, if you look at my heart rate, like, get it, we can post my Strava. My heart rate got up to like 160 on the way back just because I was standing and having to pedal into the wind.
And those are like the dad moments of training. There's been multiple times where Saturdays I get done with a long run, get through breakfast, and I'm like, let's go for a bike ride, which consists of me tugging 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, this wasn't planned, but here we are.
And that's, I think it's a perfect segue to, on this vacation, but in life in general, with kids, like, it has to be one, best laid plans never always follow through. Like, kids get sick, things happen, but I think having a plan is the best starting point. Just like we've talked about food prep, we've talked about other things. Having a plan in place, at least to be able to iterate from, is the most important thing, and planning ahead to set yourself up as best as possible to be able to fit something in.
Having a plan yourself is one thing.
Yep.
And then also talking to the wife
Getting-
about
yes.
said plan
Yep.
is a whole other thing.
Yep.
Because there's many times where I have something in my
Yeah,
mind that I'm
plans.
going to be doing, and that's not what the plans are.
Yep.
So I think that's a great point for everybody to remember, whether you're married or going to be getting married, is always check with the wife.
Yep. And that's,
Communication.
I'm very lucky because Megan is very supportive and understanding, and we try to make it a priority for each other. Like, I want to make sure she gets that time, and vice versa. She wants to make sure that I get that time, because we both know that is important to each of us. So we'll plan it that way. Like, night before, like, hey, what are you trying to do for, like, workout tomorrow? We kind of talk through it, run through it in that way. I think that plays a big role, and no surprises. Like, the next morning, I'm like, all right, I'm getting up early. I'm gonna go get this done. She knows that, and vice versa. When I get back, I take the kids. She gets her time to work out. So having that understanding and having that back and forth, I think, is paramount when it comes to fitting things in a crazy time of life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've been balancing the same thing here. Is my wife's been wanting to knock out some morning workouts during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, she gets Wednesdays off, so that's one morning I get. Thursday mornings are my morning.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, Sundays are always my mornings as well. Mm-hmm. So, again, job, and we'll talk about this a little bit too, of obviously, how do we manage our jobs, but luckily I'm able to drop the boys off and then from 8 to 9 get a workout in if needed.
Yeah.
Just because I work from home, I don't have a commute,
Yep.
which is a
That's
huge
Yeah.
time saver right now. But I'm sure once baby comes, it's going to be all mornings again, just probably for me, since she'll be home for 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the communication.
Yeah. I think that having a plan and communicating that plan with your significant other, I think, are the two most important pieces of the puzzle. The other thing I would say is flexibility. Like, having a plan is one thing, but being able to audible when needed, and knowing, yes, you want to try to stick to that plan as much as possible, and I try to do that, but being able to be like, well, instead of me going for a run by myself on the beach, I'm gonna throw the kids in the bike trailer and take them, or something like that. Like, for example. So yeah, I think having a plan and having some flexibility or leeway as far as how that goes.
Yeah, I think that's why I love the mornings
Mm-hmm.
from 4 to 7, because nothing really deviates. Right now,
Yeah.
again, this is not set in stone for everybody because everybody's in different parts of their lives.
Yeah.
we're in a good spot right now with sleep schedules. Kids are pretty much sleeping until 7, so I know if I want the best chance of nothing getting messed up,
do it early.
From 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. is my time.
Yeah.
Typically, again, like on a Saturday, she's not going to bother me because she can work out later in the day. So for me, it's like that's easy.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably my biggest struggle pre-kids, or when we first had Stetson, our oldest, and that newborn I was so used to being able to work out whenever I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came, I still tried to do that, but then life happened.
Yeah.
And things started changing, and that was hard for me because if I had it set in stone, like I was going to do it at noon.
Yeah.
It was set in stone.
That's happening. Yeah.
And then again with the newborn, that wasn't always set, and it started frustrating me.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, Megan and I kind of started having some conversations, and it was a big hurdle that I had to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got there, and mainly just because I picked a better time.
Yeah.
Again, if I'm going to do it, it's get to bed early, get up early.
Yep. And that's one thing I run into, especially in the vacation environment, and we kind of talked about it, I think a couple episodes ago. My trickiest times to not indulge in staying up late or drinking or those types of things are when I'm with my brothers and my dad and family and stuff like that, and it's those are the times that it's the hardest to be okay, I know I need to get this done. So Thursday I still try to do the Dadletics workout.
Yeah, so navigate a day, what's a day on vacation?
Yeah, so usually how we would do it, when we're in Hilton Head, we've been several times now at this point. Wake up, usually I'll work out first.
And wake up is
on vacation, probably closer to 6.
6, and you're going to bed around 10?
Yeah, 10:30.
Okay.
Most days. There was a couple times I stayed up a little later, which is not my... I'd rather wake up at 4 and go to bed at 8. Everybody else in my family is not that way, so they're midnight, that sort of thing. So I did do that one night, just kind of indulge in that and work out a little later the next day. But
well, and to reiterate, even though this is a goal A race for
Yeah.
you, it in the grand scheme of things, it only matters to
I'm
you.
gonna spend the time. Yeah,
in Dadletics.
I'm gonna spend the time with my family.
That's me time you'll never
Yeah.
get back.
Yeah.
So.
So, and I mean, for context, we have not been on a my family, brothers, parents, everybody together vacation since 2019. We did a long weekend in Gatlinburg, around Christmas a couple years ago, but for a full week, designated time together has been 7 years. So again, I wasn't gonna miss out on all of that stuff, but I still wanted to stick to my plans and try to get as much done as I could. So.
And then, so you'd work out at 6, get
Mm-hmm.
that done. That is a nice thing about, I've never thought about that, is so you'll throw the kids just in a stroller and run with them
Yeah.
if needed. Or
Yeah.
the biking's kind of nice too, I guess.
We didn't bring. Usually, we have a single and a double running stroller, which we can get into that when we got back this week. Had to do that. Had to do one of those this week, but yeah. So we didn't bring those on vacation, and because we're not balancing work, one of us can be with the kids while the other is gone. But running stroller was especially when Graham was first born, that was my favorite thing. Once he was old enough to go into the running stroller, to be able to take him, get my workout in, and give Megan the time to just be able to chill was awesome. It was 2 for 1 for me. So
Where are you at mentally if something does come up and you
Mhm.
have to skip?
it's hard for me, honestly. I still struggle with it. I since we've been talking more and you're taking Sundays totally off, I've been trying to get at least one rest day in a week. Before, when I was training for longer, half Ironman, full Ironman, I didn't feel I had the leeway to be able to take a full rest day, which maybe that's right or wrong, but so I would work out 7 days a week, basically. Now I'm really trying to get better about that, but I'll fluctuate when it is. So, I mean, we drove 12 and a half hours on Saturday, I'm like, I'm not going to get something in that day. So I just planned that to be my rest day. I've definitely gotten better at being okay with that, but typically I'd still try to get some type of like abbreviated version of it in. Like we got Saturday before, like when we got there, we stayed in a hotel Friday night and then still had a 4-hour drive to Hilton Head. So woke up, got a workout in. Megan was a champ and worked out with the kids in the hotel room. So she fit something in that time frame. I went down to the hotel gym, worked out for 25 minutes. But then once we got there, I had been talking to Graham all week about like, hey, we're gonna go on the bike and go on the beach again because we had done it a couple years ago and he like loved it.
Awesome. So
we first got there, bikes were delivered. I'm like, let's go, buddy. So we just went for 30 minutes. That was the windy day that I bit off more than I could chew. But yeah. So I think I've gotten better with it mentally, but it's still something I struggle with for as far as feeling like I need to move or feeling like I have something that I got to do. How about you?
Yeah.
I feel like you're good at sticking to your plan or like having that pretty set in stone.
So I try to set myself up for success.
Yeah.
I know if I dialed something in every day on vacation, something's not going to go. And again, if I have it written down, that's when I struggle because if it's written down, it's got to get done. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's more of, okay, I want to get, again, just in July, where did I go? June? I was just on June. I was in Florida in June. Again, to probably no surprise to everybody, I knew this vacation was on the calendar a year in advance. So I backtrack all of my training from that vacation. Yeah. So I knew that was going to be a back off week.
Yep.
Which I think, again, setting myself up for success. Mm-hmm. If not, again, I don't want to be in your situation, and I would be freaking out if it was a huge week for me. Yeah. And now here I am on vacation.
Yeah.
I would struggle, even if it's with my brothers I haven't been with since 2019.
Yeah.
I know I would not do well. So I knew January 1 of this year that week was going to be a back off week no matter what. And I knew that wasn't going to deviate because I knew the weeks prior weren't going to change.
And race schedule allowed for that timing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, okay, it's a back off week. If I'm in there 7 days, I'd like to get 4 runs in.
Okay.
And theoretically, I'll put those on a day. And if it works out, great. If not, then I have 3 open days that I can then shift to.
Yeah.
For this vacation, though, everybody slept good. It was with her family, which is my family, but it's still not my brothers, not my family.
Yeah.
And everybody's a little bit more laid back. Mm-hmm. There's only my 3 boys and one other nephew.
Okay.
So there's only 4 kids. Way more laid back. Kids are older, everybody's sleeping. So for me to be able to go to bed at 9 wasn't crazy. They're not up partying.
Yeah.
So for that, and then so I was wide awake at 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. Nobody's really waking up until sometimes even past 7, 8 o'clock. So I had plenty of time to do my thing. And it all worked out well. The question I wanted to ask, and I can lead it because I want to ask myself this, is the training was one aspect of it, but being out of routine for me has always been a huge challenge. Mm-hmm. Mainly due to nutrition, feeling like crap, alcohol, which leads to poor sleep.
Yeah.
So I've always struggled with taking vacation and actually enjoying myself for 7 straight days. Mm-hmm. That's been my struggle.
Yeah.
I'm good day 1, day 2, day 3, I'm ready to get back.
Yeah.
Because I feel terrible.
Yeah.
And so with me pretty much abstaining from alcohol now, that's about 50% of it.
Totally.
That changes everything. Again, now I'm getting better sleep. I don't feel terrible. Mm-hmm. There's no hangovers. And so for me, that week of vacation, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed myself. And I would say the last couple vacations where I haven't been drinking, I've actually enjoyed myself and can call it a true vacation.
It's good.
Minus the fact of a house not being baby proof and I'm just chasing a child around the whole time. So
we had a pool at the bottom of our condo, like in our So it was like vaulted. So underneath, like the backyard was a pool and then a very small like green space patio area. So I was on high alert, like anxiety through the roof all week.
Well, and that's the other part of like just life right now is I can't afford to be hungover.
Yeah.
On that in that situation, at home it's different because it's your home, it's baby proof. You don't have to follow a toddler around.
Yeah.
But there, yeah, I mean, our 2-year-old was literally into everything: stairs, open pool.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with the older boys, and you have to be on it.
Yeah.
And thinking to do this hungover would be like, that would be terrible.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, this is going to sound probably bad, but like in my years of drinking, I feel like I've learned to pace myself and time things well enough to the point where I shut it down probably like an hour, maybe 2 hours before bed. We're all just kind of hanging out, playing a game, something like that. And that helps a ton. The other thing that one of the reasons I want to exercise every day while I'm on vacation is I don't feel so shitty, basically. Like, I feel way better, even if I'm not eating the best or drinking. That is my anchor to be like, okay, this feels normal, feels like sort of routine. The other thing I did do, which I of course got made fun of for, was I prepped the same lunches that I normally would in a normal week. We do, like, actually shout out to Megan, she prepped them for me.
What a wife.
Oh, she's the best. But yeah, so we packed a cooler obviously with everything else. Those went in there, same like 5 lunches that I would have. I knew one day I wanted to go to, there's a place called the Sea Shack down in Hilton Head, really good hole-in-the-wall seafood place. Hit that for lunch one day. So I knew that was kind of like set up. And that, again, from like breakfast through lunch on vacation was the exact same for me. Basically every day, other than 2 days where we ate out. Dinner then, which is normal for us anyways, is kind of the wild card. And that's where I feel like I can let my hair down a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think I've mentioned, I don't think we were doing this podcast after my vacation, because I got back on a Saturday and I had the 10K on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And same thing when I go on vacation, I order the ground beef, the rice, the easy stuff, right? Breakfast is always the same thing. Prioritize actually more carbs and protein. So actually on this vacation, I don't even know if I ate eggs. Okay. Just because, again, fat is in everything. Yeah. And I knew there was going to be other meals, dinner, ice cream at night. That's going to be all my fat pretty much. So my carb was trying just pretty much carbs and protein earlier in the day. And fueling through that, you'd be surprised when you're not tracking and you're out doing things, how you do forget to eat. But going back to that story is I came back and weighed myself and I was 10 pounds heavier in 1 week, and that's no booze. Yeah. And that's tracking 80% of my food. Not tracking. I will say I did not track. Yeah. I had a good idea, but I wasn't holding myself to a certain number, which was good. I think good mental reset for me. But I did get ice cream every night. Yeah. And that was probably it, because I felt terrible. That's the other issue, is like we talked about. I think we did talk about my recovery and was not very good. I think because of the high sugar load before bed.
Yeah. How was your sleep that week?
A good recovery was terrible. Sleep was good. Okay. But because, again, I was having meals right before bed that were dairy, high sugar, my recovery was crap. Yeah. Respiratory rate was like high.
Yeah. See, I looked at like my resting heart rate all last week and it was fairly normal.
Fairly good. Okay.
Even though, I mean, full transparency, I pretty much drank every day. Not a ton, but like a couple beers. We were drinking Palomas, was the big drink of the week. So, but yeah, noticing, like, I think timing is a big factor in that, and then just moderation, like not going overboard. But yeah, I think the rate before bed is a big factor. Yeah. In all of that, which is, I mean, that's just very anecdotally, but that's why I try to shut it down, like shut drinking down, shut eating down. Yep. I resisted the urge. My brothers and my dad ordered Taco Bell one night, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. Like, I can't do this. So
Were they just trying to get the
I don't know
that
how
lettuce
I don't know
from
how
Taylor
it
Farms?
I don't know how it started, but like second or third day, my dad's like, I could really go for some Taco Bell. So by like the fifth or sixth night, they're like, we're ordering Taco. We ate dinner early that night, so like this is setting us up to get some Taco Bell.
It's amazing.
So they did. I went to bed. I'm like, I'm good. But the only other thing I wanted to add is like, I did prioritize Thursday. So still tried to hit the workout, like the same workout that the group did last week. So Wednesday night, I'm like, I'm shutting it down early, try to get out the door early the next morning to try to beat the heat, which if you've been to Hilton Head in July, there's no beating the heat. 6 a.m. it's 75 with a 90% humidity, 75 dew point. So it's brutal.
I will note that last Thursday, my hands were a little chilly.
Yeah, I know. And so this is, I think, good context as well. We did that threshold workout 3 or 4 weeks ago, the 2 or 3 by 10 minutes, and then last week was 2 by 15 minutes. I ran it on the beach, but it was packed sand. Like, I mean, it was hard sand. But with 75 dew point, 75 degrees, my pace was 40 seconds slower per chunk. Which I think was all heat, humidity, probably some drinking related, like not doing the best things, but yeah, that was a big drop off. So I think just lesson if you're running in the heat and you're like, am I getting worse? Am I losing all of my fitness? We had a nice morning this morning, and it showed up this morning. Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's go to same topic, but get away from out of our environment and in our environment, and on a normal day, weekly. How are we staying present with the family, and then also getting the fitness in?
Yeah.
So how do you? I guess tell everybody, how are you getting in from a day-to-day standpoint? How do you get your fitness in? Again, I think both of us have jobs that are really good at allowing us to do what we have to do. But I'm interested to see like what your weeks look like. How do you, and then how do you stay present at home?
I think so to preface, like super lucky with how like I get to basically set my own schedule from a patient care standpoint. Versus if I was in a clinic, my day would be made for me, where I'd be there at 7, 8 o'clock and there till 5 or 6 o'clock, and have to fit it in on either end of that, which I've done before. That was pre-kids though. So I'm very lucky in that sense. But I think a lot of the same principles apply. It's one, having a plan going into the week and kind of setting yourself up for success as far as, okay, I know this day is a key workout, like I need to prioritize or have a chunk of time where I'm going to get this done. That's why Thursday mornings are so nice. Like, it's a big workout every week, but we're getting it done first thing in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, like before most everybody's awake. So those are some of the main principles I would say is have a plan in place. Again, communication with the spouse is a huge piece of that too, where Megan is great in the sense that she will be like, so what do you need to do for your workout today? Like, she'll ask me that question.
Awesome.
And same, like, she goes to workout classes. There's a gym really close to us that she'll go to classes at, and we're having that conversation constantly. So Wednesday mornings, she'll usually go first thing before I have to go to work. So I start my day usually at, typically I'll either take a patient at 6:30 or 7:30. That's how my days usually start. So for a 6:30 day, I'm out the door by 6. For a 7:30 day, I'm out the door at 7. On the 7 o'clock days, Megan is usually she's usually going to a class earlier in the day, so at like 6 a.m. And I will push my workout to later in the morning, mid-afternoon. I usually will have a break, or sometimes I'm done for the day by 12, 1 o'clock and can get it in after that. otherwise, it's trying to work out and balance out. Like this happened the other day, where both of us needed to get something in the evening time. So it was like, okay, you're gonna go to this class at 4:30. Once you get home, we'll have dinner for the kids. I'll go and get something in after that. So it's just coordinating those types of things. My schedule is sort of the same, but it fluctuates. Like sometimes I'll have an hour break in the middle of the day, so I'll get stuff in that way. I think a lot of times it's planning ahead is the biggest thing.
I think what's cool for you too is when you do get that hour break. Again, I mentioned commute time.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things you got going in your favor is you have a in-home nanny.
Yep.
So there's no drop-offs,
Yep.
which is great.
Yep.
And then also working at a gym.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do get an hour in between, or someone cancels on you,
Yeah.
like I'll go jump on the bike,
Yeah.
or I'll go run for an hour.
Yep.
There's been multiple times where I'm on a lunch break, like, hey, you want to go run? And
Yeah.
we got an hour to
Mm-hmm.
go do that.
Yeah. So yeah, again, I know that's not everybody's situation, and that is very fortunate for sure. But I think some of the things that still set us up for success is that plan ahead and that sort of thing. I mentioned before, like I have had that normal 9 to 5 clinic schedule where it's like, all right, I gotta get this in first thing in the morning, 5:30 a.m., 5 a.m., get up and go, which I feel like is kind of more your typical situation in the mornings.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I'm a outside sales rep, which has its perks, but also it's challenging too.
Sure.
Because you're riding solo all day, and that can be a little lonely. That's
Yeah.
why I think I like the Dadletics. I can
Yeah.
talk a little bit. I like the podcast because I can talk a little bit. But for me, right now, again, my stage of life, and I mentioned earlier, is I know from 4 to 7, I can do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing on a Saturday. I'm not sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm figuring out, okay, if I have to be back by 7, when do I have to start this run? And this has never been a rule that my wife has given me. It's just for me, a rule or a standard I've put in place for myself is I want to be here when the boys wake up.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're up at
Yeah,
6:30. Is
sure.
what it is. But 7 a.m. has always just been my standard. Is I want them to know that I'm working out, but if I can be here and be present as soon as they wake up, like that's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But with this current block, I did tell Meg there's going to be, my wife is Megan as well.
Yeah.
I did tell her that there will be some mornings that I may not be, just because some of these longer runs are going to be pushing 2.5 hours.
Sure.
And I don't want to be getting up at 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
Though there are times that I have an early flight. I have been known to get up at 3:30 to get my 8 miles in.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
When I'm on the road, it's easy because I can get up. And
Yeah.
There's
You
always
just
the
do it.
hotel gym.
Yeah.
I will say it used to be challenging though, was when I was doing CrossFit or Power Hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like when that was my focus,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't really get that done at a gym. So
Yeah.
when I traveled, I used to like try to find a gym nearby and pay $20 to go do my thing.
Yeah. Drop in and do whatever.
And that's why I do love. I don't mind traveling now because I always have a
Just run.
treadmill,
Yeah.
and that's convenient. And that's majority of my job is traveling. That's when I'm pretty much 24 hours in that day is work related.
Yeah.
And that's the convenience of that. But we do have the flexibility, and again, not everybody's situation is the same. And there are people working 60 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not sure. If you're working 60, 80,
Yeah.
80 hours, again, is that a you thing? Is that a mandatory thing? Where are your priorities, I guess? Not calling anybody out, but I'm sure there are people that are addicted to their jobs.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always an excuse as I can't find time. I think you can.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said having a plan and also with a food plan. And I think that's why food prep was so important because, again, if I want to go take a run on lunch from 12 to 1, I can go do that because I'm not sitting there waiting in Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you don't have to go out.
Even though Chick-fil-A is probably very quick.
Yeah.
They got that down.
That's true. Depends on the line.
Yeah, but you'll drive around at lunchtime and you'll see these massive lines at these fast food, and I'm like, that's not fast food.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have fast food.
The fastest. Yeah.
It's microwave.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the stuff. It's like, okay, maybe you don't have time, but you could probably help yourself.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't have to be an hour.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
There's a lot of days, and like, plug for triathlon training. Having 3 sports plus lifting, there is no shortage of modalities or like avenues to be able to just go out and get a run in. Or the other day we took the kids to Alum Creek Beach. I swam. Meg had the kids playing on the beach for 30 minutes. So I think having a variety of options for you, it's getting a hotel lift in or something like that. But being able to do something in 20 or 30 minutes, I think there's a lot of value there.
I remember that this summer trip, I try to do some body weight stuff. I'll take bands.
Yeah.
But strength training is probably the most difficult when you're on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Cardio is easy. Again, you can bike, you can run, you can swim.
Yep.
But I remember, my wife doesn't know this until now, but the boys needed their water bottles filled. And the first night we stayed in a hotel room on a Friday, because it was just better flight schedule.
Yep.
And the boys needed their water bottles filled up. And so my hack, maybe everybody does this, I refuse to pay for water, right? So you go to airport, we're filling water bottles up. I'm not paying $8 for water. Yeah. Same with the hotel. They always have the Keurigs. Or not the Keurig, the Culligan.
Yeah.
Water.
The water.
Yeah. So I always go fill my water up in the gym.
Yeah, it's always pretty cold. It's nice.
Yeah. And it's free.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'll go fill them up. And knowing that, I'm like, well, she'll probably think this is going to take maybe 10, 15 minutes. So I fill them up real quick. Well, pull-up bar in the gym. So I go rip like a 5x10 pull-ups.
Nice.
And then go back to the room.
Those are the things. I mean,
but it doesn't have to be, again, a pull-up. You're using how many different body parts? Like, that's a good upper body workout. And I just did 50 reps. Call it a day.
Yeah.
And again, everybody thinks it has to be, I have to dedicate so much time, and it's like, you don't.
Yeah.
Right? So if I did those pull-ups, and then I go play with the boys in the pool and swim a little bit and move, that's an active day.
Yeah.
That nobody wants to do anymore, right? Because they rather be sitting on the sideline on their phone while the kids swim.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the other key point there is it's so much easier to maintain your fitness. Like the amount of stimulus it takes to maintain your fitness versus build it from the ground up is vastly different. Like it's so little to maintain. Even cardiovascular fitness will stick around for a while if you're doing something. And I think that consistency in your day-to-day life is also part of why you can then go on vacation and be like, all right, I'm gonna go do 50 pull-ups and that's good. I'm good for the day. Like I don't need to do more than that. Like that level of just maintaining and the consistency overall, I think is a key piece of the puzzle as well.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I know the one vacation I had someone tell me what I do is not normal. Going to bed early on vacation and getting up and running. And I was just kind of taken back because I was like, that's crazy because I feel so good about doing it.
Yeah.
And I said, I've tried staying up until 10, 11, drinking with my brothers and doing whatever, and then waking up the next morning and being hungover. And I didn't like that part. In the moment, sure, it's fun.
Yeah.
Going to bed and knowing that they're up part isn't fun. So it's like this weird yin and yang, and it's like I'd rather just take the later outcome and feel good the next day and feel good about my body in general, because that brings me happiness. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, and I guess it applies to normal day life too. To do what we do now with the amount of kids that we have, you do have to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
And last night I told my wife was up doing something for work, and boys were in bed, and I got to bed and was just chilling, and next thing I know I'm out, and I looked at sleeping by 8:30.
Yeah.
But guess what? My alarm was set for 4:20. I was wide awake at 3:45, ready to go for Dad Athletics this morning. So I'm willing to, right now in my life, there was nothing for me to stay up for.
Mm-hmm.
She's work like it's not like I'm losing out on her. She's working.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna stay up and do? Binge a show that means nothing to me?
Right.
So to me, it's just normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's okay being. I'm cool with not being normal. Like that's fine with me. I think it's a priority, and like I think it's the same for us. Like having it be a priority is what allows you to figure out a way to get it done, no matter the circumstances. And again, not everybody's situation is the same. Like
No.
we
We're all unique.
we are very fortunate as far as like our work circumstances and stuff like that, but being a priority is the biggest thing.
I even take one step further. Is when I say like eliminate some things. Again, this is very unique to everybody. I know there's some people that enjoy this. This is probably controversial, but
I can't wait to hear what you're about to say.
I have a cleaning crew for the house. That was something even pre-kids. I found myself on a Saturday taking 2 hours to clean bathrooms, and I felt like most of our fights at that time was over like my beard hair on a on a vanity
In the sink.
And I'm like, I'm gonna solve this problem,
Yeah.
right? And so we got a crew, and to me,
Worth it.
the $100 is worth just the bathrooms,
Yeah.
let alone the whole house.
Yeah.
So I take advantage of that, and then once kids came, I have someone that mows my lawn,
Yeah.
which is not a big lawn, but when they're riders, I think it takes like 5 minutes.
Sure.
But again, that is for me. That is possibly 20 to 30 minutes out of my day, possibly that I'm giving up with my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and at that price that I'm being charged, it's well worth it. The utility for me,
Yeah.
hands down, worth it. Maybe someday when I have more time on my hands, when
Mhm.
the kids aren't home, where I don't have to, I'm bored out of my mind, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
But for me right now, it's built into the budget, and I'm willing to sacrifice grass-fed
Yeah.
or organic
Yeah.
if it means that I get that time to
Mhm.
possibly train or just be with my kids.
Yeah. See, it's fun. Like, we're prioritizing the same thing, but in a different way. So, my kids love mowing the lawn. And from the time my youngest son, or my oldest son was, I don't know, 6, 8 months old, Megan would bring him out in his high chair. I was mowing the front yard, and he would just go nuts. Like, he would just love eating dinner and watching me mow the lawn. Well, now that turns into me carrying my younger son in the baby carrier, my older son walking in front of me mowing the lawn. It takes me hours longer than it normally would, but it's time that we get to spend together. And it's something that they, like, absolutely love to do. Like, my youngest son is at a point right now where every time I come home from work, I'll go outside, they're in the backyard usually playing, and he'll just come up to me and do the mowing. It's a universal sign for mowing the lawn. And so he wants to do it every day. I'm like, buddy, we've run out of grass. We don't have anything else to mow at this point. But that's something that they, like, absolutely love. We can spend that time together.
Perfect.
And I think that's, like, you asked earlier, like, how do you stay present? How do you fit those things in? It's incorporating them into those things when it's not convenient. It would be so much easier for me to just be like, you guys stay inside, I'm gonna go knock this out, like, have an hour to myself. But I prefer to use that when I'm gonna work out or something like that. But it's like, no, you guys come with me, like, incorporate that into our day-to-day. It's something that it's the best bonding time that we've had. I mean, since they've been little.
Yeah.
And I know there's going to come a day. I'm like, hey guys, you want to go mow the lawn? And they're going to say no, and it's going to break my heart. But for now,
That actually, the day is going to be like, hey, Graham,
Yeah.
it's your turn to go mow the lawn.
right, which he will gladly do.
Yeah.
At this point. But I mean, I think that's all part of juggling, staying active, having goals, being present with the family, is finding those moments where you can incorporate them into those day-to-day things. Again, like pick, even when it's not convenient, still prioritizing that time together, that time to bond is, again, the only way to make it all work, I think.
For sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's...
I think one thing you've mentioned in previous episodes, and going back to being present, and I think it's something that pretty much everybody's addicted to at this point. And you had mentioned some things that you do specifically on Sundays, but a phone. And so I can sit there and say, well, I'm in the room with my kids, but am I present?
Right.
You're there, but
Totally.
are you present?
Yeah.
So what are some things that you do to stay present? And I have a couple things that I struggle with that I need to work on to be more present. But what are some things that you do that you're really good at, and is there anything that you still struggle with?
Definitely. Like, bedtime for me has been a point of struggling and something I'm trying to work on as far as not bringing my phone into the room. Because I would find myself, end of the day, been hanging out with the kids for, like, I'm just exhausted at that point. And it's like, I just want to, like, sit here, veg out, let them play, and not be there with them or not rustle around or that sort of thing. So that's something I've changed, is trying not to bring my phone into the room for bedtime. Like, just setting it down and just come up with a clear head and, like, ready to engage in whatever wrestling, fake lawn mowing project that they want to do at that point. But it's definitely something that I'm not perfect at and have struggled with in the past. There were times where I would find myself, I'm like, I don't even remember putting them down to sleep because I was just on my phone doing scrolling Instagram or whatever. So it's something I'm actively trying to work on. I think that's part of, like, the Sunday thing too, is, like, I'm trying to...
And what do you do on Sundays?
Just leave my phone in the room and put it there. I'll check it every now and again, but I try to stay away from it as much as possible. And it's helped me just, like, be happier on those days. Like, I feel like I can truly, like, unplug and relax. And it's when I'm away from it, and there's research that backs this up. Like, if it's in your pocket, it's talking to you the whole time. Versus if it's in another room, and, like, I first found that out when I would study, like, for tests in PT school and stuff like that. It's like, if I can put that away in a different room, I can lock in. If it's sitting in my pocket, seemingly shouldn't bother me, it'll still bother you. So that's a big thing. And I think similarly, like, at dinner time, it's trying to stay engaged. We try to all sit down most nights. A lot of times, if Megan's at a workout class or I'm working out, it's like, hey, we're, putting a show on and getting dinner ready and trying to clean up and all the things. So it's not perfect. But those are some of the things I'm trying to be mindful of.
Yeah.
How about you?
Similar. Same thing. It has to be out of my pocket.
Yeah.
It has to be, like, on a charger. Definitely during dinners, I'm putting it away. I got good there for a while with the same thing. I was putting it in a drawer at 5 o'clock every night. Not as great at it now. I think the biggest issue for me right now is the addiction of all the social media stuff that we do, and posting content and constantly thinking about the next podcast, like, jotting notes down. It's just like I'm all consumed. And the other issue is, like, my phone is my work too.
Same.
And so I'm all day I'm on my phone. I'm using my phone. So then just to flip the switch at 5 can be difficult because, again, it becomes part of you.
Yeah.
Because there are companies now that sell, like, these dumb phones essentially, and it's like, man, that sounds so great, but at the same time, like, but I need to do. There's things I need to do, and then on the flip side, it's like I've had so many connections. Dadletics never gets going. We don't have this friendship.
Yeah.
Had it not been for Instagram.
Yep. Yeah.
And so that's the battle. The tough moments are when I'm on my phone and my middle son, this a couple weeks ago, he's like, "Dad, put your phone down." And I'm like, that hits.
That hurts.
That hits.
Yeah.
And then again, now with like AI, it's like it's like you're having a conversation with somebody. One of my friends was texting me last night, and it's like I got wrapped up in the conversation at 6 o'clock. And so those are the things I think we all struggle with. And a big part of it is just if you just can put it away. That's the one nice thing, though. But then I found out I was putting it in the drawer, and next thing you know, I was getting notifications on my watch, and I'm now I'm scrolling my watch.
Yeah.
And so luckily, I eventually have switched to the Koros, and I turned off everything other than I need the ringer on, again for work.
Okay.
But I don't get text messages.
Yeah.
Which has been amazing. So when this is gone, I have nothing other than phone calls that can distract me. Which typically anymore, if someone's calling you and not texting you, probably need to pick up.
Yeah.
But
I'm fortunate in the sense that like my work is less calls, more texts.
Sure.
But they can come at all hours, and I am still not the best at totally like shutting off. Like I will still answer patients at 8:30. Usually at that point I'm like, all right, that's it. But I'm not the best at shutting down in that sense. But I try to separate that from designated time with the kids, like really trying to be present in those moments, and that I know is a source of distraction, a source of just taking my attention away from what is actually important, which is spending that time together. So again, not perfect at it, but it's something which just proves how addictive these things are. Actively trying to work on it regularly.
Yeah.
But the best thing I found is just put it away. Like separate from it. There's blocks of time. Nothing's gonna like you're not gonna miss something that can't be unmissed. If somebody really needs to get a hold of you, they'll get a hold of you.
Yep.
So,
Cool. Well, I think just to wrap up the conversation of the day, I think the biggest key point was having a plan. Plan of what you're going to do workout wise for the week. Food plans, again, we can't reiterate enough. Like, set yourself up for success when it comes to nutrition. Communication. If you have a significant other, if you have a family, obviously communication is key.
It's got to be on the same page.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think those are the big things. And making it a priority. Like prioritizing, I would take it one step further as far as like, if you have specific goals, prioritize the hard days. Like prioritize the workout days with everything that you need to.
Yep.
Yes, those other like auxiliary easy runs and easy rides and stuff like that are important, but the priority has to be those like key sessions. So if you are somebody that is very time strapped, like those are the things that for me it's getting to the pool enough. I'll set my week around like, okay, I know these are the days, the times that I'm going to swim. From there, build out from that point. So I think just having that in the back of your mind too.
And then I think what we can learn from Marty last week was, just being that yes dad, but the essence of that is time goes fast.
Yep.
And you don't want to blink and your kids be out of the house and you miss something because you didn't get your run in.
Yep.
And so just continue to put that at the forefront.
Yep.
And prioritize that. So cool. Quickly, speaking of time management, we are on a tight timeline here. But we do want to finish up. Let's talk quickly about today's workout and how that went, and then guess we're back and forth on possibly what next week's workout looks like. I think I got a plan, but we'll see if you can agree. But this week's workout was a interesting one. It was a 2 to 3 rounds of 2K, 1K with 2-minute rest after the 2K, 1 minute rest after the 1K. Paces for the 2K were kind of around a critical velocity, 10K-ish pace. And then the 1Ks were 5K to possibly 3K, depending on how much you wanted to push it. I will say I did have to do this on Wednesday, again, protecting the long run. Solo at 8 a.m. Sun was hot. It was hot again. Still trying to figure out my nutrition for those runs. For whatever reason, it's just easier when I get up and come to the track on a Thursday and maybe just not eating enough. That makes me actually feel better.
Yeah.
But it went well. I wanted to hit 6:10 pace, which is like 7:37 on the 2Ks. And then the 1Ks, actually I went a little quicker than for some reason I thought I needed to be at 550s, which is like a 337-ish 1Ks. And I kind of set the standard on the first one and then realized I was a little quicker. I think I only needed to be like 344s. But I matched them. And I think to the group, I sent a text, Wednesday afternoon, not with my times, but just I wanted everybody to know. Again, maybe it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. Maybe I was just pushing myself a little too hard. I thought it was a very difficult workout. And I just want to let the group know of my inner dialogue and how I approached it. And pretty much just saying, like, I wanted to stop after 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's just go one more. And then I got into that last 2K. I'm like, I'll be fine with just 1K. And I'm like, no, just go another 100 meters.
Yeah.
Go another 100 meters. And then I got to the 1K. And I was going to put my headphones in. I'm like, well, maybe if I put my headphones in for this last 1K, it's going to help me. And that's when I told myself, well, no, like, if I can't do this without headphones, then you shouldn't be doing it. So figure it out, step up, do the work. And I got all 3 in and hit my times, and I was happy with it.
Crushed it.
Yeah. So was it as difficult?
Yeah. So starting out that first 2K, so Andrew and I are running together for all these workouts now, which has been cool. That first 2K rep, oh my God, this feels terrible. Like, I don't know if it was just heavy legs. Like, I did a hard biker workout 2 days ago, did a hard swim workout yesterday. I don't know if it was just fatigue, but it took me a second to get into it. And that first round, I'm like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to go much faster than that. And for reference, like, I was targeting 8 minutes for that, or thereabouts, for the 2K, and then low 350s, high 340s for the 1K. In that first round, I think we were like 8:10, which I was like, all right. And I didn't think it was going to get much better because it just felt hard at that point. But again, we kind of talked about it. Like, I just tried to stick with it, give myself a chance to be able to execute on the rest of the workout. And that's kind of why I went out, I think, in that pace. I was concerned about my running volume has not been very high. Like, last week I ran 12 miles. 2 weeks ago, I think I was like 15. I've been biking and swimming a lot, so like that aerobic support is there, and I've been running consistently for years now, so I have a base to work from, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit. I mean, almost 6 miles of hard volume was definitely like very daunting feeling to me, so I wasn't sure, honestly. So I think maybe I was sandbagging a little bit on that first one. I don't know. But so yeah, ended up there. First 1K was spot on, 351. And I knew going into the workout, I was targeting that 1 minute of rest between the 1K and then that next 2K was.
That's the magic.
Where I was like, ooh, this is gonna get tough. Got into that second 2K and the pace was just coming way easier. Like, felt like my legs started to come around. Was looking down at my watch, like, RPE wise felt the same as the first one, but was going quite a bit faster. That second one ended up being, I think, 7:55 or something like that. It's almost 15 seconds faster at the same effort. Next 1K was about the same as the first one. It was like 3:52, I think. And then it got tough at the end for me. I got to experience a little bit of what you did. It's basically everybody was done at that point. Because the
majority just did 2 sets.
Yeah. And Andrew was like, I'm going to call it at 2. I'm like, all right. So I buckled up for the last one. And I was like, if I can just get through this 2K, I'm fine. Like, that was the thing that I was like circling in my mind. And it went great. Like, hit the fastest one of the day. Again, felt tough at the end. Like, those last probably 3 laps were pretty challenging. But just kind of took it one at a time was my mindset, and ended up finishing out really strong.
Good.
Ran my last fastest 2K and fastest 1K on the last round. So.
Yeah. Definitely think it was the hardest workout. And that was cool. We got to keep pushing this.
Yep.
And next week, I think we're going to continue our time domain progression.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked from 3x10 at threshold to 2x15. And then I think we're going to prescribe a 30-minute threshold. And then we're going to kind of reset, and then we're going to build again into more of a 40-minute domain.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of my thoughts. I think once you saw the bigger picture,
yeah,
because you'd suggest maybe 3x12, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
But I think again, I want to push that without a break, because I think that's the mental side of whether it's a half marathon or the marathon. We got to keep pushing that. We're not always going to get a break, and we gotta push through it.
Yeah.
So I actually have a wedding on Saturday.
Nice.
So I'm bumping everything up. Long run will have to be on a Friday, so I'll be doing this on a Tuesday morning at 4 in the morning, I believe, is the plan as of now.
Nice.
I'm actually going to do it in a bigger run, so I think I'm going to do 10 miles.
Okay.
And after a quick warm-up, roll right into the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually going to throw an optional 2x1K just to keep the leg turnover. And again, for me, just bigger volume.
Yeah.
I'm there where I need just more volume.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's next week, more threshold, and that's going to be good for both marathon and full marathon.
Yeah, for sure.
For half marathon and full marathon.
And my race is next week, so I will not be doing it on Thursday, and probably not doing it except at the end of my race, which will basically be a 5K off the bike. I think I'll get a similar stimulus. So yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. Like, that workout today was a confidence booster for sure, because I was definitely nervous going into that one, because again, I was like, I don't know if I'm there from a volume standpoint. The paces were definitely scary, but again, I think just giving yourself a chance, like knowing that, okay, this is going to be tough. And I think finding one thing that was going through my mind this morning was finding an edge, like find a way to be able to give yourself a little bit of a mental edge. Again, last week, South Carolina, it was hot as hell, and the paces weren't what I wanted them to be, but again, I try to go based off of effort. So my little trick this morning was I wore my newer race shoes that I haven't really worn, but I was like, now that'll give me a little boost, plus the colder weather. I'm like, I think I can do this. So
it's interesting you say that, and we'll wrap it up here, but I just heard a podcast, and it was, is it Kelly
Starrett?
Yeah. He was on the Rich Roll podcast, and he had mentioned that he knows of an Olympic swimmer who would always throw fins on during his warm-up, because it would make him feel fast, because not every morning you're going to feel great.
Yeah.
And so it changed his mindset, because he was faster than what he maybe he felt that day, and in his mind's like, oh, I'm fast.
Yep.
So as soon as he took those fins off, he was ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's funny what the edge or the mindset can do, and you got to have those good vibes going into the race.
Yep.
So that's awesome that you feel that. What I'm excited about. I'm excited for your race. I'm excited to get a full-time runner, Pat. Sounds like you've never done it, truly, to the degree that I'm expecting you to put forth.
Not really.
And so I'm excited to be able to talk all things running here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And figure out what happens.
Yeah. Excited to see what happens.
So with that, episode 7 is a wrap. As always, like, subscribe, share this with others.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.